Again, if drivers are listening, we are running by runs in order with the competitions. So that would mean Alex Stein is going to run first, starting off our top qualifier. Alex Stein, he is looking for, I think, the series sweep here now that Clinton's out of it. Alex Stein's coming in winning round 1 and now coming in as top qualifier for round 2. Let's see if he can take Mike Stokeman, our second, up against Angus again. I think that I'm really excited to see that. But here we are. Welcome. Grassroots round 2. We are just about to get into our competition. We have done qualifying. We are going to roll into our bracket here. Our number 1 qualifier, again, Alex Stein, doing a really good job coming in with a 75. Up next, number 2 qualifier, we have Mike Perry with a 74. Alex Stein with a 74. Mike Perry with a 73. Dakota Jansen in 3rd with 72. Hans Luce in 4th with a 70. Jay Grie Emory's last run. Here we are looking back at it, getting into that touch and go, making his way. Started off strong, really good transition, but this is where you see it all the way into it. So here we go, let's watch it again. Great initiation, making his way perfectly, or a little shallow, but into that touch and go like he should be. Great throw run, and unfortunately, just because he missed, it would have been scoring probably. That was our second last qualifier, coming in 3rd place. The 3rd position qualifying here. It got really solid. 72. Dakota walking transition into outside zone 2, not losing any. D-cell zone coming into outside zone 3. Not and momentum to get all the way out there. But yeah. It's going to be Alex Stein's of Hard Knock Stunts, Dark Lotus Drift.
Voice of Formula Drift, and we like to present to you the official Canadian.
Stein's warming up those tires for this buy run here. He's going to show us why he is number 1 qualifier. All right, here we go. Alex Stein's up to the line. Ian, our start line Poppy, just chatting with him quickly, making sure everything's good. He is getting a thumbs up. We'll watch these lights extinguish here. Here we go. So let's watch Alex, see what, let's talk about this run here a little bit. So a great flick to start it off into outside zone 1. Alex doing exactly what he should do. Not losing any speed to that touch and go transition to outside zone 2. Here he comes getting into this inner clip. Pressure painted lines, these zones, these drivers have no excuse to miss them now. Great finish to this run. Alex Stein's getting a really good practice run and bringing him into competition. We are going to have Alex pull aside here. We are going to, now that we are into competition, we are getting Nicole down on the ground. She is going to be doing some live driver interviews. This is me. So, you know, here we go. Let's watch Alex back coming into the outside zone 3. Yet again, doing a great job here on this run. Okay, so our first battle coming up here is going to be Tanner Emory versus Gaston Morrison. Tanner Emory, gridlock drift, E46 versus Gaston Morrison with the Dark Lotus drift team. Hard Knock Stunts 350Z. Gaston, one of our Spec D drivers out here in his practice car today. A really experienced driver, definitely a veteran of the sport. Yeah, also in his full-time job is stunt driving, so that's pretty friggin' awesome. But here we go, lining up both these drivers. All right, we have a thumbs up. Let's see what they can do. Tanner Emory to lead, Gaston Morrison, a young buck. Let's see if he can take out the old gun. Tanner Emory coming in with loads of speed. Great initiation. Gaston, though, not shaking, chasing Tanner. All the angle, almost looked like he was going to loop it there, but perfectly sets himself up for outside zone 2. Gaston managing to do everything he needs in the chase. Glued to Taylor's door and really not cutting too much of line to stay with him. Maybe a little shallow, but a fantastic first run in this top 16. Let's watch this time here. Tanner Emory just putting on an absolute heater of a leader of Gaston, though not far behind him in chase. Gaston showing his experience, managing to stay in grip, coming through the middle. Alright, so we are re-racking these drivers. We have Gaston now in the lead. Tanner Emory to chase. That is Gaston of Hard Knock Stunts. Dark Lotus Drift Team leading out Tanner Emory of Gridlock Drift. Let's see what we can do. Here we go. Run number 2. Gaston off the line, looking quick too out of that chicane. Tanner Emory can't sleep on it. Gaston with a little bit of a swing entry. Tanner, though, not shaken at all into this touch and go. Gaston doing everything he should. Great into outside zone 2. Tanner, though, doing what he can to keep up a little bit further back. Gaston was on him. Tanner knowing that, trying everything he can to keep up and put it on Gaston. Really good run. This is a really close battle. I'm not a judge here because that's a tough one to judge. Guys are going to line up here to hear who wins. So again, let's watch this here. Tanner doing the most, trying to keep up with Gaston. Gaston looking really gripped up in that 350Z. You could see he was having a little bit of trouble being a touch quicker than Tanner. But overall, both drivers doing an excellent job in the top 16. We're going to get a replay here of the first run. Tanner Emory, here we go, let's watch it. Through the inside, or the touch and go into outside zone 2. Gaston closer, but managing not to straighten, but definitely a little bit of a bobble. But both drivers in the exact same place. red zone 4, you can see Gaston's line end to angle. Got proximity and damage. So overall, I'd say a really close battle. Both these drivers putting on a show. Judges having a lot of deliberation here. Talking lots. Lots of hand signals. All right, so here we go. Gaston, Morrison with 1, Gaston with 2, Gaston with 3. That is Gaston Morrison taking the win in the 350Z. Congratulations. And we are going to stop in with our number 1 qualifier, Alex Stein.
First ever live stream interviews. I'm standing here with Alex Stein, who's coming off of a win in Grassroots round 1. He was our top qualifier today, and he just completed his bye run. Alex, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. I'm having a good time. It's really hot today, but I'm just out here driving with all my buddies and having a good time, having fun.
And I did see that you were just celebrating as we heard who you're going to be competing against. Gaston got the win in his bracket, so he's going to be going against Alex when we come through the next bracket. Why were you so happy to hear that it was Gaston that you're paired up against?
Gaston is a great friend. He's my mentor. He's part of why I'm still doing this. I'm not celebrating that I have to go against him, but I'm celebrating that he got the win.
Those are the kind of things that we love to hear in BCDA. This really is like a family of drivers. It's really open, welcoming, and a learning space. I know a ton of the drivers have mentors, mentees, and they help each other. We've seen people take parts off their car when someone has been hit and give it to their competitor. Do you have like a standout moment in your competition history where something like that has happened to you?
Yes, a buddy of mine, Ryan Handley, if you're watching, you owe me one. We were driving out in the wet one day, and we were all running Zestinos that give you great grip in the wet, and he was on just kind of a less competitive tire, and he was struggling, and I had an extra set of tires. I was like, hey, Ryan, go throw these on, and he threw them on, and then he beat me in our battle.
We love to hear it. Alex, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. We can't wait to see what you do for the rest of today and get out there and crush it.
Hey, thank you. Thank you.
So thank you for that insight, Nicole, on what's actually going on behind the wheel of the car there. Thank you, Alex. But we are going to now get into our second battle. We have Shelby Maro in the gold and black C5 Corvette with the KBE kit versus Hans Luce in the beautiful, also kind of silvery gold Corvette with a sweet chrome livery. We're going to have Hans Luce, the American, leading out Shelby Maro. There's Hans Luce, Shelby Maro. All right, we have the clear to send from the judges. So we are now, here we go. We have the lights extinguished and, oh, we are off. Hans Luce to lead out Shelby Maro. Hans trying to get, oh, Hans Luce and Shelby on the line. But Shelby, knowing he's gripped up, kind of piece, seems to have paid off. Both these Corvettes, looks like a mirror image. Oh, Shelby straightening out. Lead in the chase there. Hans Luce putting on an absolute clinic in the lead position, filling all those zones exactly how we need to be. Great run from Hans Luce. Doing exactly what the judges want. Let's see it here. Into the outside, trying to get that touch going. On an angle. Let's watch what happened with Shelby. A little bit of a problem. It looks like he's straight, but here we go. Outside zone. Maybe a little bit of a bobble for Shelby in the chase, but we're going to swap this up so Shelby's a chance to put himself in the lead. Seems to be doing maybe a little better in the lead position. Let's see how it plays out here with the position swap. Hans, maybe this is where his spotter can come in handy. Hans, maybe knowing if Shelby's shaky, might be able to take himself a bit farther back. Shelby, not that he's a bad driver, just a new car for him. All right. Okay, so Hans loose in the chase. Shelby in the lead. Let's see what they can do. Shelby's still feeling this car out. Let's see if he can put together a solid lead run for Hans to chase. Hans, though, got to be careful, knowing the lead might be a bit shaky. Dipping it in, outside zone 1. Great start for Shelby. Best he's been all day. Finally found that throttle pedal in the Corvette. Here we go, into outside zone 2. Fantastic start from both these drivers. Hans glued to Shelby's door, eating that code. Shelby straightening out, way offline. But Hans doing a really good job managing not to hit Shelby. I'm a little confused what happened. Let's look back on the replay here. Shelby coming off the outside zone. Okay, I need to watch the stream. Here we go. Outside zone 2 transitioning. Shelby straightening out just a little bit. Managing kicks him out of outside zone 3 early. So unfortunately, I think that's going to be that might be the end of it for Shelby, having a little bit of trouble in the lead. What do you think, Nicole? What did you see there?
I mean, it's always an exciting battle when we see two very similar cars go up against each other with such talented drivers, but just watching them suck up that cone really throws a wrench into things.
All right. Looks like the judges have the scores in. Let's see what they say. We're going Matt goes Hans, Jamie, Hans, Clinton, Hans loose. You win the battle. Hans loose taking home the win here, moving himself into top 8. Hans loose in the cool C5 Corvette with the sweet livery, coming up from the States, moving himself further into this competition. Good stuff for Mr. Loose. Shelby, though, doing a great job, seeming to have a really good lead run there. Shelby finding that gas pedal in the Corvette, putting on a clinic there at the end. Oh, looks like Hans got a nice little tire mark on Shelby's rear quarter there. Not bad at all. Good stuff, guys. Oh, that doesn't smell great. That smells like someone's clutch up here. Well, here we go. Up next, we have Jay Grie at 103, leading out Pat Lee of Certified Auto Sound. That is Jay Grie leading out Pat Lee. Jay, sponsored by his lovely wife and daughter, here all the time with a smile on his face. Let's see what he can do. Into outside zone 1. Jay with a great flick initiation. Coming in, can he feel it? Yes, through the touch and go. Really good start from Jay. Pat dialing it in, reeling in. Jay, a little shallow, but managing to save it there. Jay, great through this third outside zone and outside zone 4. Really good lead run from Jay Grie. Pat managing to clean it up in the second half of this run. Almost cutting himself off shallow, coming out of outside zone 2, but saved it really well. Let's watch this back. Jay Grie with a nice tip in. Pat, though, not letting him get far away at all. A little transition here and here. Pat with a little bit of a bobble, got on gas a little too early, but saved it. And Jay, though, just getting that car exactly where it should be. Doing a really good job in the E46. Just a little shallow on the inside clip, but otherwise, I think a solid run. Right at the end of the block. Jay, and a solid run. All right, so we are getting into the second half of this battle. Pat Lee will now lead out. Jay Grie, Pat looking really gripped up in the 350Z. So let's see what he can do coming into. Let's see what he can do in the lead position. Jay, he's gonna try his best to stay glued to Pat's store, but he has to be careful. Pat looking a touch shaky out there in the 350. Might catch Jay off and lead Jay to straighten. Let's see how we do. Pat Lee, a little bit less speed, but great job into outside zone 1, filling it. A little bit of a handbrake, but not an issue. Here we go into outside zone 2. Pat hitting all the spots he needs to be. Really good lead run from Pat. Jay Grie, though, not letting him get away. A little bit of separation through the inside clip, but Jay sacrificing a bit of line to try and keep that proximity on Pat Lee. How'd you like that run, Nicole?
It's always great. I've never said anything bad about anybody's run ever, so I don't know what you're expecting from me, but what I really want to hear is I see a bunch of you guys watching us on the live stream. Let us know in the chat. What do you guys think of this run? Do you have a pick for top of the podium yet, or you want to see the rest of the bracket? We've got our staff in there. They're ready to chat back with you guys. We love some interaction. So the judges are requesting a replay. They're taking their time deliberating. This is a tough one because, there's so many factors that come into.
All right, let's see this transition. Pat Lee, as much as he was out of position, did manage to save it really well. So good stuff from Pat. We have Jay and Pat talking to each other with the universal hand motion, hand signals here in the car. Judges really talking about this run. Pat seeming to be really a lot stronger, more comfortable in the lead position today in that 350Z. Not that he's doing a bad job in the chase, but his lead runs have been looking really strong here. So judges still deliberating. Let's maybe take a chance to thank some of our sponsors. We would like to thank Lordco Auto Parts, Zestino Tires Canada. We have 110 Hobbies, Kinetic Signs, Augmented Racing, racegear.ca. Sorry, I lost my list. I should know it by now, though, let's be honest. Ryan Bogasinski Realty, which also comes in with the coolest run of the day award. We are just waiting. Judges have their decision in. We have a one more time. Jay and Pat, you're going to run it back one more time. They can't hear me. One more time. Yeah, I think they're just going to rerun it. We do not have a lot of horsepower on these cars, so they do not need to swap tires. So here we go.
So our drivers are back at the start line, ready to run a back-to-back one more time. We want to hear from you guys, though. Who's got your bet? We want to hear it for Jay. Do we think he's going to take it this round? Oh, I hear a few of you cheering. Or are we going to go for Pat?
Okay, sorry, we were figuring out a little communication on our end, so let's watch this back. You gotta listen to these beautiful cars. Let's see how they do. Jay with a great lead, just a bit shallow on outside zone 1. Pat, though, having to cut all the line to catch up to Jay here, but managing to get back into proximity by the end of outside zone 2. Again, similar transition by Pat, a little bit out and then having to cut outside zone 3. But unfortunately, I think part of that is because Jay may be a touch shaky on his lead position. So let's see how they do. Let's re-rack them and see how Jay does in the lead. We got to send him. So lights go up. Ian walks away. And here we go. Pat lead to lead out. Jay Grie. Jay sleeping on the line. Pat looking fast. He wants this win. Trying to get rid of him. Big handbrake pull. Jay entering a bit late there in the E46. Not quite sure what happened. Great transition. Pat Lee, though. 3 tires off for Pat Lee. Unfortunately, will zero him out in the lead. Jay saving that, though, almost spinning into outside zone 3. Pat, again, 2 tires off. But I think, unfortunately, it looked from my perspective, Pat may have been 3 tires off coming into outside zone 2 here, which 3 tires off in the lead is definitely a 0, but Jay with a very late initiation, potentially zeroing himself in the chase. Alright, it sounds like the judge is talking. Unfortunately, the second run, 0-0. Jay entering late on the start and Pat going 3 tires off on outside zone 2. So it all comes down to the first run here. A little bit of stakes, if I remember correctly, from both drivers, but looking pretty even over the first run. So the judges in intense deliberation. Nicole, what are you thinking?
Well, on one side, I'm watching these judges have some discussion on who thinks what happened here, and then I'm watching over the edge as these drivers are smiling at each other and having their own chat. So, we can't hear what's going down on the track, but I think the judges might be asking for another replay just to fine-tooth go through this run.
Okay, judges really looking at this first run here, scrutinizing every single point of it. Both these guys, fathers, both these guys work very hard for their kids and help their kids achieve their dreams. Jay's daughter, Sierra, is a fantastic cheerleader. Pat's kids, unbelievable hockey players, soon to be in the NHL, I'm sure. Pat building himself an outdoor rink in his backyard for his boys, just so they can nail down their slap shot. Jay, I see him doing cartwheels with Sierra here and there. I think he said he was trying to get his backflip down, but... All right, we're gonna watch one more replay here. Let's see Pat leading out Jay. So here we go. Jay, a little late to initiate. Pat doing a great job to start off this run, but then just flicking wide and unfortunately going 3 tires off. The rest of the run looked great. Jay saving it through that inside clip. And yeah, it sounds like the judges have made their decisions. So we are gonna get the overlay here. What are the judges calling?
The suspense is just killing me.
Oh, it's unbelievable. All right, 1 mat goes Jay Grie, Jamie, Jay, and Clinton. Jay Grie taking the win, moving on to the top 8. Jay Grie, our oldest competitor at 183, moving on to the top 8. Congratulations.
The stress of this competition is just aging Jay like no tomorrow, every round.
It's unbelievable. He gets years older. It's just, I mean, you could see the stress. He's pulling his hair out. If having a daughter isn't hard enough, Jay just tackling motorsports at the same time. Good on him. Sierra jumping in the pits, congratulating her dad. You absolutely love to see that. Good stuff, Jay. Congratulations. Moving on to the top 8. Pat Lee, great driving. Unfortunately, getting taken out here in the top 16. If you come by Agassiz Speedway next weekend, though, you will see Pat Lee in his pro car, ready to knock some socks off. That thing is unbelievable and very cool. But first, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Mike Perry, our number 2 qualifier, coming in with a 73 up at the line. He is going to give us a bye run, and Nicole is going to tell you what's going on.
All right, we're expecting some big things here from Mike, coming off a high from our last run in his qualifying. Let's see what he can lay down here as he takes off from the start line. Coming in with some speed and a nice flick to get into the track. Let's see if he can fill this outside zone. And he's looking pretty good. He's a little shallow as he comes through here. A nice flick, speedy transition as he comes through the center of the track. And he sends it all the way around. Will he fill outside the zone 4? Yes, he will. What a great run. Give it up for Mike. That was fantastic. What did you think about that one, Andrew?
Oh, Mike showing us why he got number 2 qualifier and why he should have gotten number 1 qualifier if he didn't get a 6-0 on his second run, smacking the wall. Looking like a menace out there. Super confident in that car. Really confident behind the wheel. Mike Perry doing exactly what we expect him to do. Just doing a nice practice. I mean, dialed it back, you could tell. Didn't want to write off the car on a bye run, so that's good. That's a very good idea. We appreciate that.
We love to see him cleaning it up a bit and putting the car in all the right places. Here we go with Matt giving Mike a win, Jamie a win, and Clinton a win. Obviously, it's a bye run, but it's good to know that the judges are liking what they're seeing from Mike Perry.
All right, now next up we have Tino Zeba leading out James Wilson. James, no need to warm up those tires. He's hoping he has a less grip so he can actually make it around the track. James, coming in this morning, was having a little bit of issues making it around, filling the zones. The judges giving him a little advice from the booth, telling him add some pressure, some air to those tires, and it seemed to have worked out great. James getting 10th in qualifying here. Tino in 7th. So here we go. Tino to lead. James Wilson. Tino starting it off. Nice handbrake initiation. James Wilson, though, not giving him any space here. How's this transition? Tino, little shallow, but that's okay. Still doing the line he needs to. A little left foot brake on the transition, but Tino making his way very quickly through this track. Almost straightening out. Not quite sure. And for Tino, just potentially needing another clutch kick there. But let's watch this back. Great initiation from Tino. James doing exactly what he should in the chase. A little front tire to rear quarter action. Tino, again, shallow through these zones, making James really have to cut the line to keep up with him. So that's factored in. As much as it may look like James isn't quite following the line, James, if you have a lead driver that's running away from you, that has to be accounted into the judging. So here we go. Now we're swapping it up. James Wilson to lead out Tina Zeba. Tina. I apologize, Tino. I can't believe I called you Tina. All right, here we go. James Wilson leading out Tino. James with a great initiation. Tino, though, unfortunately bobbling coming into the touch and go, but let's see how they finish. James still has to finish this run here in the 240. Great job, a little wide on that inside clip, but making it into outside zone 3 really healthily and all the way through outside zone 4. Unfortunately for Tino, that bobble coming off the bank is going to hurt him. Nicole, what'd you see in that run?
I mean, as you mentioned, James had to make some compromises in his first run to account for coming up behind Tino's car. And here we saw James, getting away a little bit from Tino and him struggling to keep up. He did dive in on a couple pockets there. He's doing his best. But one of the things we love so much about BCDA is that there's just such a wide field of drivers here and experience, and everyone is coming together and laying it down for fun. The competition comes into it, the mindset comes into it, but these guys are out here just doing their best, and I think we might have a winner, judge's decision. Let's see if it rolls in.
Judges are not, and we have a decision. Here we go. Matt to James, Jamie to James Wilson, and Clinton James Wilson unanimously. James Wilson takes the win, moving himself into top 8. That is James Wilson moving himself. Great performance from Tino, but unfortunately knocking himself out coming off the bank. Okay, so now up next we have Dakota Jansen coming in for his buy run. The pierogi man. Let's make sure he doesn't overcook these pierogies. Again, if you, 2 options. Today your option is, which is a fantastic option, make your way up to the concession behind the grandstands. Mama is up there cooking delicious breakfast sandwiches. She's got smokies, she's got hot dogs, she's got poutine. She's got bacon poutine. She's got it all up there. So go check out the concession. Next weekend, keep an eye out for this Helmy's car, because wherever it's parked, there's going to be mini deep fried pierogies. Clinton, our judge, telling me I'm number 1, which I appreciate a lot. All right, Dakota. I'm not even really going to bother talking when this starts driving. It is so unbelievable. Still quite upset at Dakota, actually, since he doesn't have headlights in his car. I'm not too. I like the look of the 46 headlights. Please put them back in the car. I don't. We've had this conversation. He wants to as well. We just can't find them. That's actually stuff. But here we go. We have Dakota lining up for his buy run. I'm gonna shut up. You guys listen to this beautiful screaming eagle under the hood of the Helmy's gourmet food. E46. Here we go, Dakota. Let's see what he can do. Look at that. Dakota showing us why he's one of our top qualifiers in position 3 there. Putting on a clinic in the Helmy's gourmet food E46. All right, so we have up next Angus, Juhasz actually, yes, that is correct. Angus, Juhasz versus Mike Stokeman. In my opinion, what would look to be the battle of the top 16. Angus and Mike, both crazy fun drivers to watch, both super aggressive in the lead and the chase. So this should be really good. All right, but up first, I think we're going to toss it down to... Okay, so we are getting these guys lined up here. Okay, here we go. So we have our last battle of the top 16. Angus leading out the Stokeman. Again, I say, people say who let the dogs out. I say who let the cattle get between the barbed wire. Angus. Mike Stokeman almost riding off his car in the burnout pit. Good stuff he did, warming up those tires. Mike trying to get a little heat into those front tires, it looks like. Angus getting the heat in there too. Angus going to be competing in Spec D next weekend. All right. This is going to be a great battle to watch. I'm very excited. Let's get in it. We got it ready whenever you are. So start line man is giving the thumbs up. We got to clear this end. Here we go. And the lights extinguish. Angus, Juhasz to lead. Mike Stokeman. Here we go. Angus flicking it in, coming in fast. That's the speed we've been wanting to see all day. Into this touch and go, doing exactly what he should in that Corvette. A little bit of a bobble from Angus, but the Stokeman calculated approach in the chase, managing to hold and not be shaken by Angus's little bobble in the lead. Overall, fantastic run for both these drivers. Absolutely great to watch. Alrighty, so these guys, let's watch this replay. Angus getting into that touch and go and into outside zone 2. Mike Stokeman, though, having to really cut the line, but part of that may be because of Angus's bobble. But here we go into this last section of the course. Angus getting outside zone 3 really well and outside zone 4. Mike Stokeman right there image. So I think that would be fair to say is a great start to this battle. They're both going to probably want to clean it up a little bit. Angus, I know he's going to be very critical on his driving. He'll want to fix that coming into this next round if he moves on. Stokeman doing a good job in the chase though, but maybe could have been a little closer. So let's see what they do, swapping up the positions. We got to send him, so the lights are on. Here we go. The Stokeman, Mike Stokeman to lead out Angus. Through the chicane we go. Mike into outside zone 1. Great initiation from Mike. Again, these two drivers carrying loads of speed through this track. Fantastic transition. Angus having to play it a little shallow to catch up to Stokeman. But here we go through these last two zones. Look at these two. Oh, Angus bobbling in the chase. Not sure what happened there. Looks like just needed a little more of a clutch kick. But let's look back at this replay. Here we go. Stokeman, a great start to this battle. Angus having to cut the first outside zone to stay with him and the touch and go. It looks like, unfortunately, Angus having to cut a lot of these zones to keep up with Mike in the lead. But Mike doing a great job in the chase, or in the lead here, hitting all the zones. So, judges asking for replays on both runs. This is it's a tight battle for sure. Really good performance by both these drivers. Keep it up. Mike Stokeman and Angus. So here we go. Let's watch this first battle. Angus in the lead. Hitting touch and go where he needs to be. Into outside zone 2. Little bit of a bobble leaving outside zone 2, but not bad. Mike handling that bobble. Staying with Angus into those last outside zones. Angus doing exactly what he should. Here we go. Swapping to the other battle. Mike in the lead, Angus chasing Mike, getting into those zones too. Angus maybe a touch farther back, but not too far off. Really close still for both these runs into this last outside zone. Angus making the dive onto Mike through outside zone 3 and 4. So sounds like the judges have a decision. Let's see what it flips to here. Our last battle of the top 16. We have Matt to Stokeman, Jamie, Stokeman, and Clinton. Stokeman unanimously. Mike Stokeman takes the win. Moving on to top 8. Mike Stokeman takes the win. Angus getting knocked out here in the top 16, unfortunately, but he'll be driving all day, getting plenty of practice. Alrighty, and that concludes our top 16. We are going to make our way now into an interview. Nicole is going to talk with Dakota here and ask him how he's doing.
Hey, BCDA fans, we have one of our most exciting drivers here today. If you tuned in a few minutes ago, we have Dakota Jansen. How are you feeling today? It's hot today. You're, running qualifying. You just laid down a banger by run, but you haven't done a tandem yet. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that I got no chase runs in practice. One chase run I got, guy understeered off the track in the first corner, so I've got 7 leads under my belt, no chases, but my car is usually pretty fast, so I'm not super concerned about it. It's fast, but I can still hold it back. So
we know you have a ton of seat time in this car this year. The judges and the fans have been saying a ton of positive things about you. That combined with not getting the practice that you were hoping to get today, how does that play into your mindset now that you're going into door-on-door battles?
Honestly, my mindset comes all internally. Exterior stuff, no one can put more pressure on me than myself. So what people are saying, what people are thinking, what people are guessing, it's not something that affects me too much, to be honest.
Do you have any rituals that you do or anything to kind of zone in? Are you a music guy? You got your headset on when you're in the pit and leave me alone, or are you giving everybody hugs and welcoming them in?
Yeah, definitely right before the light turns off. I like to smack the visor down, chunk it into gear, and then tug on the e-brake just a little bit. That's always my ritual.
Nice. Well, thank you for coming by for a quick little interview. We're excited to see what you do the rest of the day today, and we're really looking forward to seeing you in Spec D next weekend.
Yeah, I'm excited for Spec D as well, and if you want pierogies, come out to Spec D next weekend, June 14th. Deep fried mini pierogies. Come get them.
There you have it from the man himself. Thank you, Dakota.
Hey, this is Jared Deanda, the voice of Formula Drift, and we like to present to you the official Canadian Licensing Partner Series, Spec D and BCDA Drift Series.
JB's was built in Alberta, the province with oil in its veins and horsepower in its heart. Founded more than 50 years ago by Jim Bell. Jim created JB's with an undying passion for making vehicles look and perform better. To this day, we still strive to provide the best range of aftermarket parts, including complete engine assemblies, performance parts, truck accessories, car audio, and remote starters. With a huge selection and a full team of enthusiasts, JB's Power Center has been an obvious choice for decades. JB's Power Center, parts for enthusiasts by enthusiasts.
the start line, making sure that we're turning the menu off.
Say again?
Trying to turn the menu off on the start line. Need your instructions. Is that the one? Right one? Good?
Oh, Alex Stein's stalling out in the pits here in the burnout box, but we have 2 Hard Knock stunts and Dark Lotus drift mates.
That's it, one more time, go over.
All right, so Alex Steins to lead out Gaston Morrison, 2 teammates here. These guys, if anyone drives together a lot, it is these 2 fellas. All right, we got a clear descend. The lights are going up. Here we go. Alex Steins to lead out. Gaston Morrison. Gaston getting a little jump off the line there, but Alex quick. Gaston on a side to side, kind of biting himself in the butt, but it set up, maybe I take it back, set himself up really well here, coming through that touch and go and the outside zone 2. Alex doing everything he can. Oh, Gaston bobbling on the transition, going 2-3 tires off, unfortunately, and straightening. I think that's unfortunately going to be a 0 for Gaston in the chase, but let's watch this back. Gaston going for the side-to-side initiation approach, diving in, set himself up really well actually through the touch and go, and coming into this outside zone 2, but looks like here, I'm not quite sure what happened. Gaston just fumbling a bit, needing a little extra to hang it out a little longer before transitioning. Alex Steins, though, making quick work of this track in the lead, throwing, as always, a very consistent, chaseable lead run. Let's see what these guys can do while swapping up the positions. Here we go. Alex Steins to chase out Gaston Morrison. Both these guys representing Hard Knock Stunts and Dark Lotus Drift Team. Here we go. Gaston to lead, flicking it in. Alex, great start in the chase, diving in on Gaston into that touch and go. Here we go. Oh, both these drivers looping it out. Great save by these teammates. Unfortunately, Gaston just a little too much sauce transitioning into outside zone 2. But to be honest, I thought Alex was going to spin before Gaston spun, so I'm not quite sure what's going on. What happened there?
You know, I'm not quite sure what happened there either, but this is just testament to what great drivers these guys are and how much experience they have going together, that they're able to avoid and anticipate and react so quickly when a situation arises like that. You know, the best thing here is that everyone saved the cars and they're all feeling good.
Judges asking for a replay. Looks like they may have saw something we didn't get to see. Alex checking out what he ate with his car. Seeing the judges have a little bit of a question coming off the replay here, off the start line. Not sure what's going on. All right. Alrighty, Gaston, Alex. Gaston, you jumped the light, so you guys have to rerun. Gaston jumped the light, so we have a restart. Alex, I know you can hear me. All right, Alex, a little bit of a contact with Gaston. Just needs to, Alex needing to check out if his car drives straight. Yeah, a little bit of contact, but I think for the most part should be okay. Okay, Alex taking his sweet time getting back in the driver's seat here. Getting all snugged up, getting his harnesses on. Boo, 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 boo. Let's wait for Alex. Bum, bum. These guys, true movie stars. Hurry up and wait is the name of the game when it comes to these fellas. I'm just teasing. I'm not really though. I'm still, Alex, still not moving. Unbelievable. He might actually, we might consider this a 5-minute timeout. Okay, we are going to run this back. So if it was not clearly communicated, Gaston actually jumped the light off the line. So we are running this back now because it is considered a restart. So Gaston jumping the light. So we have now rerunning this run number 2. Let's see how it plays out. Gaston in the lead. Alex to chase. Here we go. Gaston. Big handbrake pull to start, but seems to put himself exactly where he needed to be. Into outside zone 2. Can he keep it together this time? He can. Alex doing a great job in the chase, though. Keeping it glued to Gaston's door all through this track, especially through outside zone 4 here. Great run from this Hard Knocks Stunts Dark Lotus Drift team. Alex Stein and Gaston Morrison. Really good battle.
Much cleaner for the second half of that run there. Seems like the judges should have a little bit of an easier time making decisions on this one, but we're going to have to wait and see. I see lots of notes being taken, scores being tabulated, and their eyes are on the replay. These two drivers, if you tuned into the live stream earlier, we got a chance to chat with Alex, and he was so stoked to drive with his teammate and friend Gaston, also a mentor of his. So these two have spent a lot of time driving together, and it's always a good time when they're out there.
All right, sounds like the judges have their decisions. So let's see what we come up with here. We have Matt. Who does Matt go with? Matt goes with Alex Stein, Jamie, Alex Stein, and Clinton. Alex Stein. Mr. Stein's taking the win in the blue E46. For some reason, drivers do not have eardrums, apparently. I guess these race cars are real loud. They're having some troubles hearing the announcement. But again, that is Alex Steins taking the win, moving on into the top 4. Gaston roasting him off for the people. Great runs and driving from Gaston today. It's a nice little practice day for these guys. Both these drivers will be competing next weekend in the Spec D Pro Series in their pro cars. But until that happens, we got to finish this Grassroots series. So let's get on our next battle. We are taking a second here, and then we will be running Hans Loose versus Jay Grie. Nicole, what have you seen today? What are you liking? Who do you think's strong out there? You see anyone specifically standing out?
I think, what I would love to see in the finals today is Alex Stein and Dakota Jansen. I think that would be an epic battle, and both have great attitudes, great cars, and their driving is on point today. So I think that would be a really fun one. But we got a lot of ways to go till we get there and find out, and a lot can happen in that time. So I guess we'll have to see.
That is true. They both have to make it all the way there before we can see them against each other. But like you're saying, I would agree with you that these two drivers are looking specifically strong today, along with I'd say also Jay Grie actually is looking a little bit of an underdog story today from the 102-year-old. Jay Grie making it out of the old folks home. Nice appearance here at the racetrack. He said earlier he's actually not allowed out on his own will. He has to be released from the old folks home. Sierra goes in and checks him out. So nice of his daughter to do that, to bring him here.
I would agree with you. I think he's a bit of an underdog, but he's definitely been laying it down today, putting some heaters out on the track and doing it all with a smile. Earlier we saw he got the win, and he and his daughter were jumping up and down in the pit celebrating together. We love to see it. We got a few more moments, it looks like, here until these drivers are ready to go, but why don't we take a moment to just thank some of our sponsors here. A big thank you to Lord Co. and Zestino, Augmented Racing, Ryan Bogasinski Real Estate, RaceGear.ca, Fountain Tire in Chilliwack, 110 Hobbies, Excel Auto Glass, Still Real Productions, Kinetic Signs, and Fish Racing. All of these companies are coming together to support us out here at Agassiz Speedway, and they do a wonderful job getting the track set up for us, making sure that we're safe and ready to go. We have everything we need. Without these people, we would not be able to do what we're doing out here and bringing this to you guys. So a big thanks to them, and also throwing it down to our media team and our live production crew that are on the ground, bringing this to you guys at home so that you can sit in your AC and relax. You don't have to be out here sweating, but we do love seeing a few spectators out on the side of the track. Let's hear from you guys. Are you having a good time today? That was weak. Try again. Much better, thank you. Andrew, I heard that there's a pretty special occasion happening next weekend in your world. What's going on?
Yeah, Spec D next weekend. It's going to be really exciting.
I'm
not making it for Spec D. I'm getting married next weekend. I'm very excited to Ashley. You see her most of the time in the ticket booth. She's checking us in. She does a lot of the social media with Nicole alongside her. And it's going to be very exciting. Looking forward to it.
Everyone is super excited for Andrew and Ashley. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here today because she's busy getting all the final pieces together for their wedding, but a big, lovely send-off to them.
She's actually taking responsibility in planning this wedding. I am just showing up. I was told that's what the husbands do, is you just show up.
You're doing a great job preparing. I think you're pretty ready for husband life.
Yes, that is going to be very exciting. I'm really looking forward to that. It is unfortunate it lines up with the same day as our Spec D Pro competition, but it's not unfortunate to me. I got bigger things going on, so I'm not worried about it. I am more concerned about this next battle. We have a couple fan favorites here. Hans Loose versus Jay Grie. Okay, so it seems like we have our pause in action is over, and we are going to get back to the game here. We have Mr. Hans Loose leading out Jay Grie, our oldest competitor to date. Let's see what the 102-year-old can the chase. Hans Loose starting off great here, making his way perfectly into this touch and go. Jay, though, not giving him much room on a snappy transition, closing the gap between him and Hans. Hans, though, doing his best to run away in that beautiful C5 Corvette, painting the line with his outside wheel. Painting the line perfectly is Mr. Hans Loose. Jay having to cut a little bit of line coming through outside zone 2 to keep up with Mr. Loose, but overall, I would say a really good performance from both of these drivers. We are gonna re-rack these guys here. We have Mr. Jay Grie leading out Hans Loose.
No matter how this battle turns out, I think Hans Loose definitely is going to win for most fan engagement in our YouTube live stream. He's getting all the love in there. I'm not sure if this is his best friend, his brother, or just, someone who loves his driving, but no matter how this turns out, he's definitely going to win in that realm.
All right, well, Hans Loose fans start cheering. Here we go into outside zone 1. Jay, not sure if he missed a gear, stepping into initiation, but Hans not shaking, putting it right on Jay's door. Jay, though, doing exactly what he needs to do in that blue 46, getting that inside clip perfectly. Hans choking up a bit behind Jay, but I think it's because Jay choked up a bit in the lead. Overall, though, really good battle. Jay finishing off the run. Really good battle from both these drivers. Jay at 172. Just showing us that age does not matter when it comes to this sport. But, well, actually, some people call it granny shifting, but I think Jay's definition is grandpa shifting. Unfortunately, missing that gear getting onto the first outside zone. Nicole, what did you see there?
Definitely laying down some heater runs, both of these guys, keeping it nice and clean. We've seen smiles of the drivers down here. They're high-fiving each other from afar, laughing, giving each other the thumbs up. So I think they're both feeling pretty good about what they laid down. It's just all going to come down to what the judges have to say. We see them deliberating over here, having a little bit of conversation, and maybe looking for a bit of a replay on that one. I'm not quite sure, but definitely is going to give them a minute to make this decision because it's not an easy one to decide. Can we help the judges out a little bit? What do you guys think down there in the pits? Do we think that one goes to Hans Loose? Let's hear it. Ooh, we got a couple cheers for Hans. What about Jay? Oh, the Jay camp is quite loud. You guys are firing him up. I can hear him cheering from inside the car. Good job. I see his daughter down there just cheering and clapping away down on the wall. His biggest fan. Just to be clear, that was not calling the battle. That was just polling our audience to see who they think won this battle.
Hans, come back to the track. We haven't called the battle yet.
Maybe I gave him a little bit of premature excitement there. The judges are still going through deliberation, so we got to give them a few more minutes. But in terms of crowd favorite, I don't know, guys. It's going to be a tight one.
Hans, the judges have not decided yet. Sorry, we were asking who the fans think won that battle. Jay, pull back up to the line, please, and Hans. All right, and with that, the judges are calling one more time unanimously. These guys are going to run it back one more time. All right, so these guys are going to put their helmets back on and get back to the line to run this battle back. I'm excited. I'm happy we're seeing it one more time. Okay, we are going to quick get a tire change from Hans Loose. And then we are going to get him back out here.
Ready?
All right, so next up. All right, so next up we have Mike Perry leading out James Wilson. That is again Mike Perry leading out James Wilson. We got the one more time call between Hans Loose and Jay Grie, but Hans just needing to change tires. That Corvette smoking him out like not even there. All right, well, big burnout performance from both of these guys. I would consider them both a 0 out of 10 on the burnout cool scale. But we look like we have a ready to send. The drone is making its way out onto track, which I think signifies that we are ready to go. I see a really cool black and green flame t-shirt in the pits there. I really like it. I wonder whose team that is. That's a cool shirt. All right, here we go. Mike Perry to lead out James Wilson. Let's see how they do. Mike Perry has so much speed into that outside zone one. James having to adapt quickly to catch up with him, but doing what it needs. Transitioning to outside zone two. James managing to close that gap really well. But Mike Perry doing everything he can to keep away from James. Mike dropping the tire, unfortunately, in that last outside zone. But other than that, I think a really strong lead run from Mike Perry. Let's go back on the replay and see what they do. Here we go. Coming in, Mike making his way just into the start of outside zone 2, but filling it at the end. James doing all the Lord's work to keep up with him, but just sadly not quite enough to put it on his door. Mike dropping the tire in that last outside zone, but I think overall a really good run and attempt from both these drivers. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do in the other position. So now we will have James to lead out Mike Perry. All right, here we go. James Wilson to lead Mike Perry. Let's see what they can do. Mike, knowing he's a lot faster than James, pacing himself a little bit back, knowing he'll catch up really quick and drift. Here we go. Look at these two go. Mike Perry putting it right on James's door, coming into this outside zone too. A little bit of a sloppy transition, but look at Mike pacing himself really well in that faster car, managing to not hit James on that transition. Shows the very high skill level for Mike Perry. As much as having a faster car should, or you would think would make it really easy in the chase, sometimes it can actually bite you in the butt because you just start running over the slower lead driver. But Mike showing his skill and class, keeping it right behind James and off his actually hitting him the whole battle. So good driving from both these cars and drivers. Judges doing their last deliberations, putting the score in. All right, and here we go. Okay, and with that, Mike Perry gets 1, 2, and 3 votes. Mike Perry, Drift Amigos E36, taking the win. Mike Perry in the E36 getting the win, moving on to top 4. Really good run from Mike's, or really good runs from Mike.
Fantastic runs from both of these drivers. Great runs from both of those drivers. You know, we're getting into the top 4 now. The field is narrowing. This is coming down to splitting hairs. You know, the driving field here is amazing. The talent is amazing. It becomes a lot harder to decide which way these are going to go without any major mistakes. The judges have a super difficult job. We're getting ready to send our next drivers. Who do we have lining up here, Andrew?
We have Hans Luce in the lead and Jay Grie chasing. This is their one more time battle between these two drivers in the top 8. I think we have a clear to send. We are ready to go. Here we go. Lights go on. Hans to lead out Jay. Let's see it go. Hans off the line fast. Jay, though, not giving him much space in the chase. Look at this, a great start to the battle. Hans carrying all the angle and speed through that touch and go, but Jay telling him, you're not going too far, buddy. I might be 103, but I'm not that slow. Here we go into these last 2 zones. Jay having to cut the line to keep the proximity. The judges will take that into account, but overall, Jay doing a really good job as the slower car in that battle to keep up with Hans the whole time. Let's watch this replay back. Hans diving in on that touch and go, but Jay not shaken at all into outside zone 2 here. Hans going deep, a little bit of a bobble, but Jay managing really well in the chase to not be shaken too much by that. Once again, I would like to thank everyone out here helping keep this event running. We have main man, the myth, the legend, Jordan Maynard Racing, who puts all his time and effort into hosting these events, and as well, not just him, Kayla, his absolute babe of a girlfriend, always in the ticket booth, supporting Jordan in his ventures. They're a great couple and something to look out and look after. They're awesome. But here we go into this battle. Jay, as deep as anyone's gone through these first 2 zones. Here we go, doing a great job. But Hans not shaken at all in the chase, keeping it glued to Jay's door into this last outside zone. Fantastic battle for both these drivers. Give it up. The Hans Luce fans in the live stream, I know, are cheering right now, but I know Jay's fans as well, and I am one of them, are cheering for that lead run. Unfortunately, dropped the tire in that last outside zone, but let's watch this back through the touch and go. Looking fantastic for Jay. Really strong line. Hans, though, having to cut a little bit of depth or line to keep up with Jay. But here we go into the second half of this course. Both those drivers nailing the inside clip. Jay putting that car exactly where he needs to be, but unfortunately dropping just a touch of a tire on that last outside zone. But man, what a great battle. Let's hear it for both these drivers in the top 8. Okay, judges have their decisions in. Everything's just getting inputted. and we are going to see who wins. All right, here we go. After the second one more time battle, Matt chooses Hans, Jamie, Hans, and Clinton. Hans Luce takes the win. Hans Luce in the Corvette moving on to the top 4. Jay Grie doing a fantastic job in his E46. Let's see him burn these tires. Jay, an absolute competitor. Right out of the old folks' home, onto the into the race car, on the racetrack. Back to the care home for Jay, unfortunately a little earlier than he was hoping, but that's all right. Jay, an absolute legend. We all love him. Always out here with a smile. He's gotten so much better specifically because he critiques his own driving very harshly. And yeah, he's proven to become a great driver, making it into the top 8 again here, almost into the top 4 one more timing with Hans Luce. All right, but the wait is over. We are into our last battle of the top 8. We had Dakota Jansen, the pierogi man of Helmy's Pierogies E46, leading out Mike Stokeman in this also LS-powered E36. So 2 LS-powered BMWs here facing off. Dakota louder, but I don't know if there's actually a ton of a horsepower difference between the 2 of them. All right, we have a clear descend. We are gonna start the lights. The Stokeman, thumbs up. Dakota, thumbs up. Here we go. And off to the races. Dakota through the chicane. Absolutely flying into this outside zone 1. Mike caught off guard by the speed of Dakota, but not for long. Making way up to his door very quickly into this inside clip. Dakota doing exactly what he needs to, but Stokeman not giving him much room to dance. The Stokeman might, unfortunately, looks like he got caught off on Dakota's speed off the line there after he made it out of the chicane, but didn't take him long at all to catch up. Let's see how they do. Dakota deep through outside zone 2, unfortunately dropping a wheel though, but Mike Stokeman adapting, keeping up, filling all of outside zone 3 and 4, both those drivers. Really strong battle in the top 8 here. Nicole, how'd you like it?
I mean, I feel like a broken record at this point, but seeing these 2 drive together, like, there really is no bad matches that we can have at this point. And you know, an extra noisy LS under the hood never hurt anybody, and it definitely makes an experience for the fans.
I would agree. An LS under the hood has never hurt anybody other than onlookers' eardrums. That's all. All right, here we go. The Stokeman to lead the pierogi man. Let's see what happens. Mike Stokeman versus Dakota Jansen into outside zone 1. Great start from Mike Stokeman. Dakota not shaken by the speed and angle though. Right on his door. Fantastic transition. Dakota out here showing that he wants the win. He got, Mike Stokeman absolutely eating the barrier. Dakota with a fantastic save behind Mike. Mike Stokeman, that's a hard hit. We're gonna make sure he's okay. Dakota doing a great job stopping in and checking in on him. Mike opening the door. Definitely gonna be shaken up from that one. But it seems like he's got his helmet off. See a little bit of a clap.
Good to see Mike getting out of the car. He's a little shaken up, I'm sure. That was quite a big hit, and we've got some cleanup ahead of us here. You know, the drivers are out there giving each other hugs, making sure they're okay. Great save by Dakota, whose car looks like it's rolling away.
Yeah, Dakota, your car's not in gear.
Dakota. Here we see him running, sprinting. How fast can he go?
Dakota potentially putting his car in the wall too. Good save, Dakota.
2 good saves and 1 run from Dakota. Thank you for paying attention there, man. We've got all the staff out on the track helping to clean up, making sure that everyone's safe. Looks like we might have a bit of a leak. The guys are going to assess what's going on down there. I think we're going to head over to a replay on the live stream to reassess what we're doing here. It's a lot to work with, a lot to take in.
All right, let's watch this. Mike Stokeman, great through outside zone 1. Dakota not shaken at all, pulling off an absolutely animal of a transition. Right on Mike's store through outside zone 2. Here they come into what matters. Mike with a ton of heat, unfortunately, goes through the tires and hits the concrete barrier with a huge 360, clipping his front end as well. Not how anyone wants to see someone go out of competition. I know Dakota wanted the win, but I know he didn't want to win that way. It's unfortunate, but again, huge shout out, really good save from Dakota. Really good save from Dakota. I'd love to hear what Dakota's thoughts are behind the wheel after a crash like that. So we are going to try and get Dakota to come in for to talk to Nicole here. If anyone's in Dakota's pits, tell them to turn around and come back to Nicole. And we are going to get a little interview on what it looks like to be a driver in a scenario like that, especially behind a car with something like that. We wouldn't do something like the interview Mike, obviously. That's a really disappointing way to go out, and we're just gonna let him be. If he wants to talk about it, he can after, but for now we're just gonna get him off track and make sure he's all okay. But Dakota going too far again. All right, so Dakota pulling up to the booth. Let's watch this one more time here. Outside zone 2. Let's watch him transition through the middle. Mike absolutely on a heater. Dakota right behind him in tow. Look at this. Wow. Dakota getting really lucky he wasn't any closer to Mike there, because that would have been Dakota's front end as well wiped out. So good save from Dakota. We are going to check in with him and Nicole here and in a little minute and see what it feels like to be a driver behind that, behind the wheel, chasing that. So here we go. Let's hear from, we got 30 seconds here, and then we're going to hear from Dakota. So again, let's give a quick shout to everyone. Jordan Maynard Racing. Okay, so a heads up to drivers in the pits from Jordan. That outside zone 3 will be slick, so keep an eye out, drivers. Outside zone 3 is going to be a little extra slick here. But yeah, let's drop it to Nicole and hear what her and Dakota have to say. So while they figure out the audio issue, it is back to me. We are getting an overhead view here of Mike's car. Just unfortunately a sad scene, but here we go. Okay, sounds like we got the audio working again. So we are going to drop it down to Nicole and talk to her and Dakota.
Hey fans, we were able to grab Dakota off of the track after that absolutely animal run and incredible save. What goes through your mind? How do you react so fast and save your car in a situation like that?
Well, honestly, when it comes to saving your car, because we are so fine with the margins on the track, and we've done so many laps, even just today, you kind of get a feel for when someone's going too deep. So as we were coming around that inner clip, I kind of saw he was going to go pretty deep, and I kind of backed off just a hair, and it's that split second, it's that half a beat hesitation on the throttle for me to not dive in that really just saves the car. It was a really awesome run before that, and I was getting so excited about it. Gave him a little door tap coming through, transitioned actually not so well, and that's honestly another reason why that saved me, is because I wasn't right up on him because my transition wasn't perfect.
It's really good to hear, you know, these drivers, like Dakota said, are running on hair-like margins. And an amazing job by him as he's heading into Spec D next weekend. So we are doing everything we can to make sure that he can get there. I'm sure his heart was jumping up into his throat a little bit. Does that play into your prep for Spec D at all? Like in terms of how you prepare mentally, or, you know, watching runs of the drivers you potentially would go up for with next weekend?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of Spec 2 drivers here this weekend. A lot of them are in their practice cars, like stock 350Zs, which it's just an entirely different skill chasing something like that versus a 500 wheel horsepower dog box quick change S13, for example, a gas. It's like it's a completely different skill. He's a different driver. It's a different sport, really.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, we saw you get out of the car right away when Mike went into the wall, checking that he's okay. We also saw you sprinting across the track. Dakota was so concerned about his fellow driver's safety that he forgot to put his car in gear so it wouldn't roll away. So a couple good saves by him, all in one run. But what goes through your mind? You know, these guys, all the drivers here are friends, and they all, you know, care about each other. So, you know, when you see your friend go into the wall ahead of you, what runs through your mind besides, like, save the run, stop the car?
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, we are all friends here. It's one big community. Like, for 20 minutes while we were waiting in line, Mike and I sat with our cars off and we were chit-chatting for 20 minutes. And it's heart-wrenching to see someone potentially write their car off like that. I mean, they're drift cars. Nothing's ever written off. Everything can be fixed. But it hurts a lot because I've been in a lot of those situations, and it's never fun. So just doing your best to make sure he's physically okay. That's obviously number one. And number two, just encouraging and supporting him to rebuild the car.
I'm sure that, Dakota, you will be out there helping him with anything he needs. Thank you for stopping in for a quick little chat. Andrew, we're going to send it back up to you.
I can keep going.
All right, Mike Stokeman getting towed off here. Unfortunately, I think that will call the battle. Dakota Jansen getting the win. Dakota Jansen. Sorry, I'm huffing and puffing here. Dakota Jansen moving on to top 4. Okay, so can we get a little round of applause for the Stokeman? Oh, Mike. All right, so with that, judges making the call that we are going to now give drivers for these last couple battles a sight lap, just because it's a little wet on that outside zone. So, someone help Mike's fiberglass hood, please. I know that thing's hurting already, but someone please help his hood. All right, and it looks like we are going to drop into commercial here coming up.
Hey, this is Jared Deanda, the voice of Formula Drift, and we'd like to present to you the official Canadian Licensing Partner Series, Spec D and BCDA Drift Series.
JB's was built in Alberta, the province with oil in its veins and horsepower in its heart. Founded more than 50 years ago by Jim Bell. Jim created JB's with an undying passion for making vehicles look and perform better. To this day, we still strive to provide the best range of aftermarket parts, including complete engine assemblies, performance parts, truck accessories, car audio, and remote starters. With a huge selection and a full team of enthusiasts, JB's Power Center has been an obvious choice for decades. JB's Power Center, parts for enthusiasts by enthusiasts.
No forward bite on your tires, so. All right, we are back on here. We have the track kind of cleaned up. They're just finishing up. Big shout out to our track staff here at Agassiz Speedway for doing a quick cleanup of this very harsh crash. We are happy to hear Mike looks okay. His car unfortunately does not, but people are more important than cars, so that's a good thing that Mike's okay. Unfortunately, he was really looking to improve on his number 2 finish on the last round. So, but looks like Mike's battle has finished here in the top 8, but or the grade 8. But hopefully that chassis doesn't look as bad as it looks from this far away, and we can get it straightened up and get him back out there soon. Okay. We hear some backup lights, which usually means things are going to where they need to be. And I think we are good to start sending our next drivers into the burnout box here, hopefully. All right, we are going to get these guys into the burnout box and get the show on the road. All right, so both these drivers are going to receive a sight lap so they can feel. So basically the reason they're getting a sight lap is we have a difference in track condition now. So usually that can happen when it rains, or in this case there's an oil slick or water down on outside zone 3. So we are going to give them a little feeler of how that zone is, and then so each of them will get one kind of free run here as a practice, and then we'll move into our competition. Alrighty, so both these guys, Hans just getting a little bit of feel. I see Jordan, the man, getting the champagne ready for the victors. I like to see that. Here we go. Okay, our first battle of the top 4. We have Alex Stein leading out Hans Loos. Okay, we have both these guys lined up. We're just... Alrighty, here we go. We have a clear to send. We are going to get this going. Okay, lights extinguish. Alex Steins to lead, Hans loose. Let's see how they do. Alex, a little bit of a clutch kick entry, great into outside zone 1. Hans having to go shallow and avoid that whole zone to keep up with Alex. A little bit of a tight transition, but look at these two go. Hans keeping it glued to Alex in his perfect lead run. Alex putting this car exactly where it needs to be, as he has been all day long. Big shout out, Alex Stein's doing a great job here. Hard Knock Stunts, Dark Lotus Drift Team. Okay, so we're going to re-rack. Let's watch this replay. Alex Steins great into outside zone 2. Hans having to cut most of the zone to stay in proximity with Alex. But here we go into these last 2 zones. Hans staying right where he wants to be on Alex's quarter panel. So we are going to run this back, put Alex in the chase and Hans in the lead, and see what they can do. All right, Hans loose to lead out Alex Steins. Let's see if Hans can get loose. Great initiation from Hans, flicking it in, little handbrake pull, but setting himself up perfectly into the second outside zone. Hans painting the line there. Alex Stein's not shaking right at all. Oh, Hans losing it. Just a bit too much angle. Alex giving him a nice little kiss on the door. But overall, a really good save by Alex, managing not to absolutely clobber Hans on that over rotation. Hans saving it, but a couple of new door marks on that chrome livery. Let's watch this here. Hans through that touch and go into outside zone 2. Doing great. Alex almost choking himself out there, diving into this transition. Hans just too much angle, barely holds on. Great on both of them, staying off the wall. That could have been really nasty to have another one go in there today. Hans's car painted. He's losing some of that gray. He's got a red side skirt now. Nicole, what did you think of that?
Absolutely amazing driving by both of these guys. As the field is tightening here, we're in the top 4. The stakes are getting high. Let's talk a little bit about what these guys are competing for. There's over $2,000 in prizes for each round of this year's Grassroots series. For first place, the winner will receive 1 pair of 235 Zestino tires valued at $380, $250 cash, $100 to Lordco, $200 to Fountain Tire Chilliwack, and a new prize has entered the chat for first place. This is going to be $500 credit to Deadbeat Speed Shop Paint and Body Repair. So all of those are just for winning first place at 1 round of the Grassroots series.
I might have to enter.
Second place winner will receive $100 credit to racegear.ca, $200 cash, $100 to Fountain Tire Chilliwack, and third place is going to win $150 cash, $50 to Fountain Tire Chilliwack, and then we also have our special award on top of that. So there is a lot at stake here.
Alrighty, well, quickly, we're going to go over these scores. Alex Stein's getting the unanimous win. Alex Stein's blue E46 getting the win. Yep, Alex, that's you. I'm looking at you. Hans, great job in the top 4 here. Just barely making it. Hans, you will stay in battle for third. Whoever sees Hans, make sure he goes back to the track. Hans will figure that out once he gets back to his pit. But next up, we have Dakota Jansen, the pierogi man, versus Mike Perry. We will have Mike Perry leading out Dakota, as Mike Perry qualified in second and Dakota qualified in third. Alrighty, let's get these cars. So Nicole, who do you see coming out on top here? You got any favorites?
Ooh, I don't know. It might have changed up a bit from what I said earlier. Dakota is really winning me over with those saves he had earlier. He has been driving on point all day. He is working his tail off to earn his spot here on the grid. So I don't know, I might be leaning towards him, but then we have so many great drivers, it's hard to say. Mike has been doing the work as well. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a really tough question looking at all 4, or I guess 3 now, since Hans is battling for third. The 3 we have left are really all strong competitors. Mike Perry's been showing his own today in that Turbo E36, showing out for the Drift Amigos. And we have Dakota, obviously, the Helmies Pierogies, doing a great job driving aggressive as always. But recently, Dakota managing to tame that aggression and it shows by him not hitting Mike. He was pacing himself well, not getting too close, knowing transitions can be sketchy, and it paid off for him. So I think, and then of course, Alex Stein's our most recent victor of round 1. He is looking to win round 2 again, so I'm really excited to see who comes out here. just as these guys warm up our tires, I'll just get quickly give a shout out to our sponsors again. We have Lordco Parts, we have Zestino Tires Canada, Augmented Racing, RaceGear.ca, Ryan Bogasinski Realty, Fountain Tire Chilliwack, 110 Hobbies, Excel Auto Glass, Still Real Productions, Kinetic Signs, and Fish Tech Racing. All right, and with that, let's go. Our second battle of the top four. Mike Perry leading out Dakota. Mike with a little bit of a late initiation. Dakota, though, not shaken at all, putting it right on Mike's door. Dakota with a clear bit of a grip and horsepower advantage, but Mike Perry not disturbed at all with having that outlast right on his door, putting down a perfect lead run. Mike Perry showing why he qualified 1 point ahead of Dakota, but Dakota telling him, not so quickly, buddy, I'm still in this.
Dakota definitely knows who his competitors are and what he needs to do to stick to that door. You know, Dakota has the confidence of coming off our last round in third place, where Mike came off our last round in sixth, so still pretty high, but not quite as high as Dakota in that last round. So they both have work to do. They both are showing up and laying down, and they're not giving each other an inch.
Yeah, I think both these guys really have this layout nailed down. I think what it really is going to come down to is the chase run. And Dakota, I mean, on run one, showing that he's here to win it. So let's see if Mike Perry can follow that chase up. Dakota, though, also love him to death, but known for taking himself out. So he's got to stay calm in the lead here, because if Dakota usually goes out, it's because he's trying too hard. So let's see if he can keep it under reins and if Mike Perry can push him. Here we go, Dakota flying into outside zone one, making it look easy here into this touch and go. Mike Perry, though, says not so quick, fella. I am right here, and I want to win this too. Transitioning into this outside zone three, Dakota right on the wall, but Mike not giving him an inch in the chase. Oh my goodness. This is our best battle of the day, no doubt. Dakota and Mike Perry, they got the judges clapping up here in the booth. Let's watch this replay back. Nicole, break it down for us.
So we see Dakota entering the track with a ton of speed here, a little bit of left foot braking as he gets into the zone. He is trying to take off on Mike, but Mike is saying, I don't think so, and he's knocking on that door. As they come through the transition, they see a nice, snappy, quick to angle, and sliding into that outside zone 3. Judges are looking at a replay here. It's going to be a tough one to call because both of these guys are just driving at such a high level, and I think we might have a couple contenders for our Smokey Award with the run of the night. I think one of these guys might get it. What do you think?
Okay, so both these drivers on the line. Judges have their score, and let's see what it is. Matt to Dakota, Jamie to Dakota, and Clinton unanimously. Dakota in the pierogi van, or the pierogi man, Dakota taking the win, moving into the finals. Mike Perry putting on an absolute clinic, though, today as well. He is going to verse Hans Luce for our third place position. Great battle. Both these guys congratulating each other. I mean, I can see Dakota's tire mark on Mike's car. These guys are just having the most fun. Mike Perry, not sure if he's going to... All right. So Mike, being an absolute man, his tires are warm. He says, let's just run it right away. I don't need a break. So Mike is going to lead out Hans Luce for this third place battle. I'm very excited to see both these two duel it. They have been putting on a show all day long, and I'm excited to see the show that they put on together.
I dare say this is some of the best driving that we've seen at BCDA yet. These guys are just really laying it out all out on the line. We've been running this for a couple of years now, and every year the level of skill just keeps growing and growing, and we're attracting new drivers, and it's pushing some of these veterans to step it up a notch.
Yeah, it really is. I think some of these guys, they've been running their same cars for a long time, and they thought it was good, but I think some of the young bucks are showing maybe we got something to tell you. Maybe we got something a little bit. You guys got a little bit to learn from us. So I think a lot of these guys too, depending on, I know some of these guys are driving the sim. A lot of them, we have Agassiz now. A big shout out to Faint Visuals, working with us together and Augmented Racing to bring together the BCDA Agassiz Speedway. If you want to play this online at home, even while you watch right now, you can go and find Agassiz Speedway on the course and take a couple laps yourself. See if you're good enough to be out here and dance with the big boys. I mean, these are the grassroots boys, so maybe not the big. These are, varsity.
The medium boys.
The medium boys. The medium boys. Next weekend will be the big boys at Spec D. All right, here we go, though. Third place battle between Mike Perry leading out Hans Loose. Let's see what Mike can do coming into this outside zone 1. Great start from Mike. Hans really cutting the line to stay with Mike. Not sure what's going on. Hans Loose, not quite the initiation. He's wanting really shallow around this track for Hans. Unfortunately, Mike Perry making quick work of the track, though, in the lead. Filling all the zones, hitting all the marks he should be. Hans giving Mike a little kiss on the rear bumper. Crossing the line, letting him know, I was there the whole race, buddy. All right, let's watch this replay. Hans, again, completely cutting outside zone 1, touch and go, and outside zone 2 to stay with Mike. Mike, on the other hand, dropping 2 tires on outside zone 1 in the lead. That'll be a big demerit, or deduction, you could say, to Mike. But Hans a little shaky in the chase, so I'd say this one's still really close. It's totally up in the air.
I guess we're going to have to see what they do here in the second half of this battle. Hans is trying to pull out all the stops to stay up to Mike's door, and we'll see how he heads out in front. He's going to have that cleaner advantage this time. Let's see what he can lay down.
All right, on this beautiful 31-degree day, Hans Loose to lead out. Mike Perry, Hans filling outside zone 1 perfectly. Mike Perry, though, not shaken. A little bit of sloppy transition, but gets him to where he needs to be. Hans taking off, taking that inside clip with him. But Mike Perry says, not so fast, buddy. I got a turbo under the hood of this thing. Even though you got a V8, I still got a little sauce for you. I think overall a really close battle. Nicole, break down the replay for us. You're getting good at this.
I would love to. This is my favorite part. Just give us a second here as we pull the replay up on the screen. Here we go. So they both head into outside zone 1, nice and deep. Good transition into outside zone 2. Looks like we have in outside zone 3 possibly a tire drop, perhaps. We're going to have the judges take a look at that and see what they think. Good snappy transitions through the center line there. Both drivers, we have them up at the finish line ready to hear who won this battle. It's going to be a tight one. I think the judges may need a bit of extra time. It looks like they're rewinding and really digging into the details on this one.
Okay, judges really deliberating on this battle here. It was really close between both these drivers. I can't say, I'm not allowed to say who I'm leaning towards because I'm supposed to be unbiased, but I know who I think I would have won. But I'm not a judge, so I'm not going to say it because who cares?
Because it doesn't matter.
It does not matter at the end of the day. That's one of the funnest parts of drifting is your opinion actually doesn't matter. The only opinion that matters is the 3 guys in the booth. Okay, so we have a winner. So they're going to announce it after. These guys are going to get on track. These guys are going to wait. We are going to announce the winner at the podium ceremony. Which means we need the pierogi man and we need Alex, or who's here? Who's driving? Alex Stein and Dakota. Get back to the line. We have a winner of 3rd place.
as we're nearing the end of this competition, we do have some fun activities going on. Once the competition wraps, the live stream's over, we allow a lot of our community to come out here for an open drift if time allows. So
that's what I'm waiting for.
Are you driving today?
My car finally works, so I'm excited to drive today. But
I'll be hopping in the passenger seat at some point or another, but I'm excited to see you out driving again. It's been a little while.
It has. The car's been down. We did a lot of work. Fresh paint, new body panels, a little bit of a livery. Big shout out. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to shout out the people who helped me out. Big shout out to Serial 9. They hooked me up and helped me get my front end back together. We got Printing Yes. He's doing a ton of vinyl for a lot of local drivers, and he killed it with the wrap. And then big shout out to the love of my life, Ashley, for spending weekends before our wedding to fix my drift car rather than work on wedding stuff. So I love you.
That's true love.
Thank you, Ashley. You are the best. I could not do any of this without you, so thank you.
As we've mentioned a few times, it takes a village, and this community is like no other. So often, most of these drivers are helping each other out, fixing cars, wrapping cars. Sounds like we might be ready to go.
Yeah, I'm hearing it from not-so-friendly voices that the judges are telling the drivers they're slow and lazy and need to get back out on track and stop chit-chatting. That's a great word for it. I was going to say lollygargling. Dakota, known for his verbal diarrhea, I'm also the same way. That's why I got this job.
Dakota did very good in his interviews today. He kept it right and tight and PG for the live stream. Big thanks to him for jumping on a couple times today. He had an exciting day.
And I think by the looks of it, he's going to be hopping back on it later. We are going to do a little interview with between me and the top 3 drivers at the end of this competition. So when the comp is done, stay tuned, and we are going to get a little bit of an interview. I don't know. Do we know if that's going to be live, or is that going to be content for later?
I believe it's going to be live.
Okay, so yes, it sounds like it will be live and recorded to watch later, but we are going to interview the top 3 drivers, so it will be Dakota Jansen, Alex Stein, and potentially Hans Luce or Mike Perry. That is yet to be, well, it has been determined, but I just don't know who. The judges purposely don't tell me things in advance because I will accidentally say it. So, big shout out, judges, for trusting me. Appreciate everyone's trust in me. I do have the most powerful job here. I kind of run the show. It's a lot of work, but, you know.
Someone's got to do it.
When you have a passion for it, you have a passion. No. Big shout out, the real man who runs all of this, Jordan Maynard, putting in all the work and all the hours, and his lovely girl, Kayla, for supporting him and being out here all the time, too, helping out. Want a big shout out, really, to everyone who's out here. Drivers, pit crew, Agassiz staff, the firemen who've been sitting in their full suits all day in the truck. Thank you for being here. You guys are always a pleasure to work with. And Ian, we got our guy on the start line. He's been standing in the sun all day. We got 3 judges, Splifton, Jamie, and Matt Rushutsky. Matt, looking for his FD dreams, soon to come true if he can put it together and not blow up his car a week before this event. Matt has been doing a lot of maintenance, prepping for Spec D competition. We have a map for president chance starting up here. I disagree. I'd take map for prime minister, though.
I think you're mixing up the countries again there.
Yeah, Clinton's a little confused. Matt, unfortunately, you have to be over 5'4" to be a prime minister or anything in politics, so that keeps him in the race car, unfortunately. Okay, looks like we're getting a thumbs up from drivers and stuff, and we are going to get Alex and Dakota into the burnout box. All right, we have our top 2 people getting in the burnout box. Nicole here, bent over. She is dying from the heat, taking a 5 minute. Nicole snoozing on the job. I didn't know naps were a part of this. I'm joking. Nicole's been working hard all day long like the rest of us. Nicole, wife of the Ryan Bogasinski Realty Trophy, which is run of the day, $500 going towards their choice of best driver or best run. We absolutely love that. Thank you for helping out. Let's go over our sponsors here quickly just before our final run. We have Lordco Auto Parts, Zestino Tires Canada, Augmented Racing, Ryan Bogasinski Realty, RaceGear.ca, Fountain Tire Chilliwack, 110 Hobbies, Excel Auto Glass, Still Real Productions, Kinetic Signs, and Fish Tech Racing. I don't know if you guys heard any of those sponsors, so we're gonna do a speed sponsor run. Here we go. Lordco Auto Parts, Sestino Tires Canada, Augmented Racing, Ryan Bogasinski Realty. I was most scared about that one. RaceGear.ca, Fountain Tire Chilliwack, 110 Hobbies, Excel Auto Glass, Steel Real Productions, Kinetic Signs, and last but not least, Fish Tech Racing. And this is the finals brought to you by the BCDA Round 2 Grassroots. Alex Stein's leading out Dakota Jansen. Here we go. Alex flicking it into outside zone 1. Knowing he wants to win. Dakota, though, almost wiping his bumper on that transition. Here we go into this last part of the course. Alex just kissing that inside clip. Dakota not shaking at all. Absolutely glued to Alex. What a battle. What a battle. Nicole, break that down for us.
Woo.
I'm getting too excited.
What a battle. They come in high on the bank, just sticking it to the wall, all the speed as they sweep down into the inner side of the track, going through that outside zone 1, transitioning quick into outside zone 2, filling that almost fully and coming through the center with nice snappy transitions. Dakota is not letting up as he sticks it onto Alex's door. These guys know what they're here for. They're wrapping it up, filling that zone as much as they can, and lining back up for the second run.
I like that. Great breakdown, Nicole. That was very good. We are now swapping it up. We have Dakota in the lead. I don't know where Alex went. There he is. He's on the other side of the racetrack. Alex. Oh, man. I know. Alex sneaking in a cool-down lap. You know, some guys, they're sneaky with it. Alex getting away with it, it looks like. Judges not too phased. But here we go. Dakota Jansen now to lead of it. Dakota Jansen, Helmy's Gourmet Food, Pierogi Love on the back. I mean, I love their pierogies, I'll say that much. Alex Stein's Hard Knock Stunts Dark Lotus Drift Team in the chase. Sneaking in again, a cool down lap. Sneaky little bugger, but he gets away with it. All right, we have a clear descent. Here we go. Run number 2 and potentially our last battle of the day. Let's see how they do. Dakota Jansen leading out Alex Steins. The pierogi man into outside zone 1. How does he do it? Big flip to handbrake pull. Alex Steins, though, not at all phased, keeping it glued to Dakota's door. What a battle this is turning out to be. How did they do? Second half, Dakota great on that inside clip. Alex catching it with his front bumper, but look at these guys into this last outside zone. What a finish. Great battle from Alex Steins and Dakota Jansen. Let's see this. Nicole, tell me what you see.
Wow, what a battle. It looked like as they came through the start, Alex might have had a little bit of trouble sticking it to Dakota's door, but he did not let that stop him as he comes through and really gets into the pocket for the second half of this run.
It's right on the wall.
Right on the wall. These boys have no fear, absolutely. As they come across the line, it looks like there might have been a little bit of a drift kiss from Alex over to Dakota. I think I might see a new tire mark on that door.
Oh, man, the Helmies. Gourmet Food, Jansen Racing, E46, driven by Dakota Jansen. Alex Steins with a beautiful chase and lead. Both these guys almost identical in lead and chase. In lead, both drivers hitting all their points. In chase, both drivers glued to the lead driver. I can't tell a difference, to be honest. If I was saying I'm leaning one way or the other, I'm leaning towards one more time, but I don't know. Well, you guys want to see it one more time?
I think I'd have to agree with you. What do the fans think? Do we think that'd be a one more time? The judges are taking their time deliberating over this one, splitting hairs because the level here is just so high. We see Alex getting out of the car, giving high fives to Dakota because these guys, no matter what happens, they are just supporting each other. They're out here having fun. They're just having a good time driving with their friends. We love to see it. Absolutely phenomenal runs by both of them. I don't know how the judges are going to be able to choose with this one.
Our cameraman up here getting a little bit of heat stroke. He's losing his mind. Thankfully, catching something that wasn't even falling in the first place. Mike, we a big shout out to all our media guys helping. The judges have their decision. Let's see what the... Is there a call? Let's see, what are the judges saying? What do we have? Are we going to the podium or what's happening? Oh, I see an overlay, which means we have a one more time. Alex and Dakota split decision. 1 vote to Dakota, 1 vote to Alex, and 1 vote one more time. This is the first time today the judges have had a split decision. Just shows how close this battle was. Alex.
Looks like Dakota may have just taken his 5 minutes. We're waiting for confirmation.
So it sounds like these drivers get time to check over their cars quickly. So maybe we will cut to a commercial right now as we wait for these drivers to get into, as these drivers change tires and cool down a little bit. Maybe even we'll send Nicole down to try and check in with someone, get someone who may have gotten knocked out or something, get their opinion on what they think the battles are looking like.
Hey, this is Jared Deanda, the voice of Formula Drift, and we like to present to you the official Canadian Licensing Partner Series, Spec D and BCDA Drift Series.
JB's was built in Alberta, the province with oil in its veins and horsepower in its heart. Founded more than 50 years ago by Jim Bell. Jim created JB's with an undying passion for making vehicles look and perform better. To this day, we still strive to provide the best range of aftermarket parts, including complete engine assemblies, performance parts, truck accessories, car audio, and remote starters. With a huge selection and a full team of enthusiasts, JB's Power Center has been an obvious choice for decades. JB's Power Center, parts for enthusiasts by enthusiasts.
Okay, we have Dakota hopping back into the race car. We have, where's Mr. Steins? Where's Mr. Steins? Mr. Alex Steins is who we need. I'm walking around. Excuse me, Mikey. I see Dakota. I do not see Alex Steins. Where is Mr. Steins? Man, what a competition today. An absolute fight to the death here. These drivers putting it all out on this scorching hot day. It is 31 degrees Celsius. It should not be this in early June in Canada, but it better be like this. Well, honestly, about next weekend, if we could get like 21 degrees and sunshine, that would be just about perfect, actually. Not talking about my wedding at all. Definitely just talking about Spec Drift or the Spec D event. But yeah, if you didn't know, 2 big events happening next weekend. Your big man's getting married, and which means old Tony's taking over as he does for all the Spec D events. Tony's going to be up here in the booth next weekend shouting out for the Spec D Pro competition. If you think these cars are cool and this driving is good, please come back next weekend and have your minds blown. Because they just, Spec D, the pro cars on this track is going to be so fun to watch. 600-700 horsepower, some of these cars just dragging the wall. It looks like, though, we are lining these cars back up for our next battle. Let's do this, baby. Live stream? You better be. Can anyone from the live stream play ready? Okay, we're ready. We're ready. All right, we need to. Let's. Okay. Here we go. We have Alex Steins getting into the burnout box here. Dakota gonna be number 2. Oh, Dakota. I was worried Dakota just broke his car, but he did not, so thank goodness. Both these guys, strong competitors. Why not? We got the time to do it. Let's shout out our sponsors one more time here. We want to thank every one of these people for keeping this series running. We have Lordco Auto Parts, Zestino Tires Canada, Augmented Racing. Shout out to Joe back in Australia. We miss having you around here, buddy. Ryan Bogasinski Realty, Racegear.ca, Fountain Tire Chilliwack, Shelby Maro, one of our other drivers today in the Gold Corvette. We have 110 Hobbies, Excel Autoglass, Still Real Productions, Kinetic Signs, and last but not least, Fish Tech Racing. We want to thank all these people for helping us run this amazing series out in beautiful Agassiz Speedway. Here we go, potentially the last battle of the day. Alex Stein's tipping it in. Dakota Jansen right on him. Let's go. We are getting down and dirty for this last battle. Alex Stein's filling all of outside zone 2. Dakota not shaking at all. Like glue on a door. Dakota is sticking right with Alex. Sorry, I should rephrase that. Like paint on a wall. Dakota sticking to Alex. Here we go. Alex, let's see how it looks. Great into touch and go. Dakota right there, backing off really well to space for a transition, a smooth one that is. Really good on transition again, Dakota. Alex right where he needs to be. Dakota having to cut the outside zone 3. But overall, Alex Stein, something to note, Dakota catching the inner clip with his front end. That is something the judges are really trying to make sure everyone's going wide enough on. Cutting that is a basically it makes it really hard for a chase driver to keep up with a lead driver. So that is why it is important they hit the zones they're supposed to hit and all the points on track. Alex having a couple issues with his car, being awarded a cool down lap here, it seems like, just at a friendly competition. So here we go now. We will have Dakota to lead out Alex Stein's. Dakota Jansen of Helmy's Gourmet Food, Pierogi Love on the back. We have him being chased by Alex Steins and the Hard Knock Stunts Dark Lotus Drift Team E46. Here we go. This is potentially our last run of round 2 BCDA Grassroots Series. Let's see what they can do. Off the line, Dakota, quick, starting in second gear, into third. A little bit of a mishap, but no problemo. He's back on it. Alex right with him through that touch and go. Great transition by both these drivers, really snappy. Dakota looking like he might have was going to go out, but keeping it right in that zone. Little shallow on outside zone 3, holding that left foot breakdown, but managing to get the car where he needs to. Let's hear it for these two drivers. Great battle here in the finals. Let's go back to the replay, though. Dakota not getting away from Alex at all in this course. Putting the car exactly, that outside zone 2 is, I think, the best one we've seen all day. That is the best one we've seen all day from Dakota, and I think any driver. But wow, Alex glued to the door of that Helmy's Gourmet Food E46. What an outstanding performance by both these drivers and every driver here today. We want to thank all of you for coming out on this beautiful sunny day out at Agassiz Speedway. We would love to see more of you out here. We would love to see you more of it. All right, and with that, the judges say we have a winner. So we are going to get these 3 drivers. Okay, so we will get these drivers. Can we get Hans Luce and Mike Perry up to the track again? Hans Luce and Mike Perry, can you please bring your cars back to the start line for the podium ceremony to find out who came 3, 2, 1. Will Alex Steins defend his title as P1 finisher here, claiming winner in first and second round of Grassroots competition? Or can Dakota take him out of that position? Dakota, if I'm correct, getting 3rd place last event behind Mike Stokeman. Dakota winning his number 3 battle last round. And let's see if he can win the final this round. Dakota in a full race suit today, just cooking like one of his pierogies. That thing, Dakota's going to come out golden brown out of that thing if he's not careful. All right.
What do you want for Andrew?
Oh. Okay. We are back, apparently. I was very quiet, so I'm sorry about that. I need to start yelling in the mic again. All right. We have Dakota, Alex Steins, Hans Luce, and Mike Perry rounding out our top 4. But in what order, we do not know. Just want to give a big congratulations to all these drivers and competitors out here today, putting it all on the line. Absolutely fantastic, exhilarating runs for us to watch up here in the booth all day. We had a great time. Want to give a big shout out and thank you to our media team out on track all day, braving the heat and the sunshine in their high vis. Thank you for coming out. Shout out to Jordan Maynard for putting every single ounce of effort and time he has. Well, I was going to say spare time, but he doesn't have any spare time. Every ounce of time he has into running BCDA and Spec D, keeping drifting alive and thriving and growing in the lower mainland here in Canada. Look at these drivers, all these guys congratulating each other. Rounding out our top 4 in no particular order, we have Mike Perry of the Drift Amigos in his Turbo E36, looking killer all day long, picking up his trim piece off the track. Good driving today, Mike. We got Hans Luce in the 90 Degrees Drift Team C5 Corvette, putting on a show coming up from down low. 1 second here. I'm being told the victor. Yes. Okay, so I've been told the victors, and I'm going to hold on to that knowledge. That is the advantage of being the guy with the mic. You got to find out a little bit before you guys do. But look at these three. Look at these three the 4 drivers. Can you 4 drivers? Can you give a little wave? A little wave to the people. None of them can hear me apparently, which is surprising because I can hear myself up here. So I think they're just not wanting to listen to me. But here we go. Are we good to go? Okay, so rounding out, 3rd place drivers. Can you pay attention? 3rd place on this competition. Apparently not. Jordan Maynard presenting the trophies. Or are we doing the Bogasinski Run of the Day Award? Okay, so we are going to start off with the Ryan Bogasinski Run of the Day Award, basically. The Smoke Maker, the Smoky is what it's called. Sponsored by Ryan Bogasinski Realty. This is $500 towards Dakota Jansen in the Helmies E46 with the Smoky. Most exciting, stylish run. Big congratulations to Dakota. Those are going all into pierogi production. That's a little capital for the parents. Big shout out to the Jansen parents for being out here supporting their son racing all weekend long. Talk about great parents. But moving on, 3rd place, we have, I just want to give a big shout out to Mike Perry and Hans Luce in this 3rd place battle. This is one of the most entertaining runs of the day in my opinion. But there has to be a winner at the end of the day. And that winner is Hans Luce in the C5 Corvette, coming in 3rd place today in the 90 Degrees Drift Team C5. Hans Luce absolutely pouring out the smoke all day long, putting on a show. That Corvette was really fun to watch. But here we go into what everyone wants to know. The final 2. Does Alex Stein defend his number 1 position from round 1, or can Dakota steal it from under his belt? All I can say is the winner of this competition in a E46 sedan, none of them are sedans, I'm lying. The winner today, Alex Stein in the blue E46 of Hard Knock Stunts, Dark Lotus Drift Team. Alex Stein doing the Lord's work in that E46, truly putting on a show, putting it on everyone's door with a smile on his face. But with that, Dakota Jansen coming in number 2. Dakota moving up 1 position from last round. I know he's coming in number 1 for round 3, but again, Dakota Jansen getting P2. Let's hear it for these 3 drivers. Hans Luce in 3rd, Dakota in 2nd, and Alex Stein in 1st place. That is Hans Luce of 90 Degrees Drift Team. Dakota Jansen of Helmies Gourmet Food, Pierogi Love. And 1st place, Hard Knock Stunts, Dark Lotus Drift Team, Alex Stein. All of them standing there with our start line man, Ian, and the man of the hour, the guy who runs it all, crosses the T's and dots the I's, Jordan Maynard of Jordan Maynard Racing. We would like to thank, again, our sponsors for this BCDA Grassroots Series. We have Lordco Auto Parts, Zestino Tires Canada, Augmented Racing. Again, shout out to Joe back in Australia. We would have loved to have you here. Ryan and Bogasinski Realty, RaceGear.ca, Fountain Tire Chilliwack, 110 Hobbies, Excel Auto Glass. There's the champagne. Still Real Productions bringing us this amazing live stream and all their lovely volunteers. Kinetic Signs and Fish Tech Racing. That is it here at the BCDA Grassroots Round 2. We would like to thank you guys again for tuning in and watching. We would love to have you back for Round 3 coming up soon. And again, but not, something to take note of. Next weekend here at Agassiz Speedway, we will have the pros. So actually, a lot of these drivers just in their pro cars. will be driving and showing out. We got some guys from Alberta coming up, some more drivers from the States. We are very excited for next weekend at Spec D. It's going to be absolutely awesome. And again, big shout out Spec D next weekend here. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday qualifying, Saturday competition, Sunday's Pro Bro Down. But one last congratulations to Hans Luce in third place, Dakota Jansen in second, moving up one spot. He's coming from number 1 in round 3, I hear. And Alex Stein's bringing it in 2 events in a row. I heard he won this round on the Zestinos he won at the last round. Alex Stein's claiming victory on the Zestino tires. We are going to bring Alex in for an interview with Nicole right away, it sounds like. And first, though, watch these commercials. We'll be right back with a live interview from our winner.
Hey, this is Jared Deanda, the voice of Formula Drift, and we'd like to present to you the official Canadian Licensing Partner Series, Spec D and BCDA Drift Series.
JB's was built in Alberta, the province with oil in its veins and horsepower in its heart. Founded more than 50 years ago by Jim Bell. Jim created JB's with an undying passion for making vehicles look and perform better. To this day, we still strive to provide the best range of aftermarket parts, including complete engine assemblies, performance parts, truck accessories, car audio, and remote starters. With a huge selection and a full team of enthusiasts, JB's Power Center has been an obvious choice for decades. JB's Power Center, parts for enthusiasts by enthusiasts.
Alex Stein, Johnson.
Meet Stepper, underground methods, that natural, get the more than the weather, straight terror, but they
for the final, one more time. Let's see if we get a winner here. We do have a decision is your 2024 Spec D champion.
Burning rubber, run the street. BCD still real. Speedway lights got me feel. Agassiz on the wheel. Engines roar, tires squeal. Hearts pounding, it's surreal. Crowd cheers, keep it sealed. Drift kings make it real. Drift away in the night. Feel the speed, feel the flight. At Agassiz under lights. Burning tracks just feels right. Every turn a new fight. BCDA the light. Push the limits out of sight. Still real, making it tight.
What's going on? Where are you guys going? Where's your trip?
You know, here, there, everywhere. It's just like every day, it's just something, you know? I can't believe this car just got stuck here and I don't know. Now, who wants to jump now?
I don't know what I'm doing. That was a cool stuff.
What are you gonna do next?
Cool, and then I'm gonna send it.
It's so smooth.
so good.
Alrighty, we are here with our top 3 finishers. We have Dakota coming in second, sitting. You can scratch Alex's head. That's all right. Oh, it's hot out. These guys are toasting their buns. We got Hans Loose, Alex, and Dakota. I'm going to ask them one at a time here. How'd you guys think the day went?
It was really hot.
That's fair. It was really hot. That's true. Hans getting his first podium today, actually. So he's pretty stoked on that. 18, graduated high school last week. And he's coming out here getting 3rd place on the podium. Goes to show what's to come with drifting. Good stuff today, Hans. How about you, Alex? What did you think of today?
Yeah, it was definitely hot. And I thought the driving was like top tier for a grassroots event. It definitely pushed me to drive my hardest in the lead and in the chase, and I loved it. The challenge is something that helps us grow as drivers, and to have it, especially from these young bucks here, can't let them come out and push me around, so I had to throw down, and I did. And they'll get their day. They'll come back for me, and one day I'll be too old to do this, so hopefully I could win every time until then.
Alex holding on to it as long as he can. But I will say, I don't want to talk too much smack, but Alex has a history of, I think, 32 second places here at BCDA Grassroots stuff. So Alex, now 2 in a row clenching first place. That's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, it feels great. It feels great. Just learning from the mistakes I made last year, and also last year I think I put way too many competitions in my schedule. I just wanted to compete to grow as a driver, which was great, and I did. But also towards midway through the season, I started to feel burnt out, and it was really hard to stay focused and really want it in the later stages of these events. And, Dakota said it best. He said, I won the war of attrition today, and that's exactly what it is. When you get to the finals, when you get to top 4, there's thoughts that are creeping in your mind that are like, I could just go home and have a beer right now. And you have to still want it in that moment. When you're uncomfortable, when you're sweating, when you've been in a hot car all day, when you got a hard competitor in front of you that's going to push you, you have to still want it.
I think that's a really good way to put it. And speaking of a war of attrition, Dakota, after a couple years of engine troubles, coming back, absolutely killing it this year on a hot streak. Number 3 last round, number 2 this round. You coming for number 1 next round?
Yeah, I mean, I'm coming for number 1 every round, but I seem to have picked up his 2nd place curse, so hopefully I can break it a little quicker than he can.
Yeah, I think there's a good chance. You got a good chance. Oh, I got sweat in my eyes. Dakota, you're looking really strong out there today, winning the Smokey Award. Your car looking really strong. Anything that's changed from last round to this round with car setup?
Yeah, I actually got on the phone with a couple of FD drivers, suspension guys, which was really cool. Made a couple of connections through there and made a handful of suspension changes based on general rules of thumb that they like to work with, and just playing around with it. I actually missed the setup completely, all of practice. Made a last-minute, last-ditch effort for the battles, or for qualifying, I should say. And car ended up working good enough, and cranked the rev limiter up because I don't have the right gear ratio for this track. Revving it to 7,300. So lots of limiter at 7,300, and yeah, just let her eat. Third gear, yeah.
Third gear, 7,300. Dakota running a 5.13 in the rear. 5.13, unbelievable for an LS. Let's swap it back to Hans Luce. Hans, as one of the younger competitors, how do you like have you done any of the Evergreen competing their events?
Yeah, I've done a lot of the events at Evergreen, and I feel like it's a lot harder there, kind of. I don't know. The cars and drivers take it a lot more seriously, it feels like.
I agree. It's a lot more of a chill vibe. Right? Ours is an actually more grassroots series, you could say. Evergreen, a lot less rules, as we have a tire cap at 235, this, that. How does does that encourage you to come? Like, how do you like coming to Canada compared to driving in the States?
I think it's a lot more fun here because you can come knowing that the cars are like more on like an even playing field versus some cars with like quick change and dog boxes. And
in Grassroots?
Yeah.
In the U.S.?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it. Sorry. I won't. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
But I've just no, it just feels a lot more fair here, so it kind of makes it worth the trip to just come have fun with everybody and new environments and new people.
Yeah, definitely. No, I would agree. I think Evergreen. These guys are calling you what? Leon Ben. Drive a fun car. Oh no, we have. I'd say. Yeah. It's a little more grassroots around here, but I think it shows even you got new guys like Hans, but you still have Alex, the old dogs, reining it in. Do you find, is there a difference? Like, are any of you doing sim practice before the events?
I probably spend 1 to 2 hours a night on sim, just random tracks. I don't really spend a lot of time on Agassiz because I don't know the layout since my first season, like full season here. But I usually spend 1 to 2 hours a night on sim.
Nice. I like that. Alex, how about you?
Yeah, I got a sim actually. So last year, like I said, too many competitions got to the point of burnout. I was just at the track all the time, and the driving already is very high adrenaline, but also the prep, loading up your car, doing tires, nut and bolt check every time. So it's like every track day is actually 2 days of work, and it was hard to manage it all. So I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to get a sim. So I got a sim in October, and it's been definitely helpful and also useful that like I could get some laps in like 30 minutes to an hour of practice and keep my muscle memory fresh. And also, I didn't get any sim before this time just because some things happened and I didn't get a chance, but I did remember.
Alex has a kid.
I have a kid, yeah. she's 3.5. Kalea, I love you, and Orphe, I love you. Yeah, I have a child. But I try to get like a couple hours a week if I can total. Sometimes I'll play like 4 or 5 nights a week leading up to an event for half an hour to an hour, and then other times I just won't have time, and I'll maybe jump on, check the layout just so I have an idea of what it is. But I do get on the sim and I do think it's super useful.
Oh, there you go. All right, last driver here to check. I already know the answer because the last time I played sim with Dakota, he said, I think I've put in 100 hours in the past 2 or 3 days here. So Dakota, how much time did you put in before this event?
Before this event is Grassroots, so we don't know the layout until we show up. So precisely 0.
You hear it. We try and keep it fair. We don't post the layouts in advance.
Yeah, that being said, so the first event I ever had my sim with was the 235 shootout. I set up my sim, I want to say like 2 weeks ahead of that event, and I hadn't driven all year. I'm pretty sure my first event back after 3 motors last season. And I did probably 800 laps of the 235 layout. A lot of that, probably 600 of that, was just me learning how to drive a sim because it is a different skill.
Definitely true.
But there is a lot of skill overlap. I always like to say there's probably 70% skill overlap. Really, the main benefit that I find with it is it gets rid of those first few laps during practice, especially since we're so limited on laps. It gets rid of those first lap jitters, right? It allows me to know general setup on my car. It's not perfect, but general setup on my car. Go out, first lap, kill it. And time is everything. It's racing. Time is everything, right?
Those 2 laps of what's this going to feel like?
Yeah, and 2 out of 6 laps is a lot of seat time.
30%.
Yeah.
Well, you hear it first. I think that is there anything else we want to talk about here? Or are you guys happy? Dakota's got some things to say.
I don't like fire suits.
Yeah, Dakota looked hot all day long. Actually, quickly, I'm going to pass these mics through each driver, and they're going to give a quick shout-out to whoever's supporting them and all their sponsors. Let's hear it from these people.
Look at the camera, yeah. Helmy's Gourmet Foods, my title sponsor. Love you guys. We're actually, next weekend, at Spec D, June 14th, we're doing deep fried mini pierogies, so make sure you come out, get some of that, watch some racing.
They are delicious.
They are incredible. I would highly recommend. Get some sour cream, cheddar cheese. It's great. Also, I'm going to have merch there, so feel free to grab that if you're at Spec D.
My wife and my daughter, Kalea, who are super supportive and my big motivation. My daughter is 3.5, and every time I go to the track, she's like, "Are you going to win a trophy?" And when I come home and I don't win a trophy, she's like, "It's okay, Daddy, next time." So they're awesome. No F word. Gaston, who's been super supportive. The guys from Dark Lotus, Rain City Motorsports have really helped me with my program, and anytime I need a hand, help to work on my car, they've always been available. JS Power Sports, who's helping me with my Pro-Am program, and Josh from Supermodel, Deadbeat Scum. And then who else do I want to thank? I want to thank Jordan and the BCDA for hosting this kind of stuff and having us be able to come out here and do what we love, and everybody involved. Like, live stream, this is freaking awesome. I'm going to go home and watch this and not post it on I'm going to screenshot it and then not post it on Instagram, but I'll be able to watch it, and you get to break down your runs, and it's awesome. It's just so good for us to improve. So yeah, I don't think I forgot anybody. I thank Andrew Schmidt, but thanks, Andrew Schmidt.
You gotta thank him after you hear my stuff live.
Oh. Big bubble by Alex Stein. Big bubble.
Gotta have a draw.
I just want to thank my parents for being supportive over these past 3.5 years since I started drifting, and then all my friends and family that were watching today and supporting me, sending me messages.
Right on. Hans Luce, and that is it from our drivers and our day. Thank you for joining us for the round 2 of the BCDA Grassroots Series. Congratulations, guys. Seriously, you killed it all today. Hans, first podium. Alex, first place. Nice. Dakota, first last place. Yeah, thank you guys for joining us. We will catch you at round 3 here at Agassiz Speedway. And next weekend, watch out for Spec D here again at Agassiz Speedway. And thank you to all our sponsors. We're out of here. Have a great day. Enjoy the weekend.
Hey, this is Jared Deanda, the voice of Formula Drift, and we like to present to you the official Canadian Licensing Partner Series, Spec D and BCDA Drift Series.
JB's was built in Alberta, the province with oil in its veins and horsepower in its heart. Founded more than 50 years ago by Jim Bell. Jim created JB's with an undying passion for making vehicles look and perform better. To this day, we still strive to provide the best range of aftermarket parts, including complete engine assemblies, performance parts, truck accessories, car audio, and remote starters. With a huge selection and a full team of enthusiasts, JB's Power Center has been an obvious choice for decades. JB's Power Center, parts for enthusiasts by enthusiasts.
Jay, let's